What the world doesn't want you to know is the idea of love that you perceive as love is actually a form of attachment, and it's creating and accumulating negative karma for yourself that eventually you're going to have to undo. The way that you undo your negative karma and to power up and to gain all of your leverage back is by not allowing things outside of yourself to have leverage over you because you love them. When you say that you love someone, you're basically telling the universe, I believe that I'm separate from this thing that I love, and I'm willing to take on everything that comes with this thing that I have attached myself with the intent of love. You're only subject to what you give your attention to. So while you're in that attachment with the intent of love, you're accumulating a duration of time that you're going to have to undo, because it's a negative belief system. It's a form of negative karma because you're not separate from anything outside of yourself. You don't need to attach yourself to someone with the intent of love because you are already love. You are already complete. You are already self-sufficient. You have the capacity to self-heal. To give anything outside of yourself with the intent of love as an attachment is a negative belief system, and you're going to have to undo that thing that you gave your attention to. Remember, the Lord Almighty, God, is an energy field. It's not a person, it's not a personality, it's an energy field that sits there and does absolutely nothing. And it's only giving you the things that you give your attention to. So if you don't like something in your life, stop giving it your attention. And that's how you trigger the field of consciousness itself. The way you've triggered the field of consciousness itself is by setting the intent to unattach yourself from things outside of yourself that you have given your attention to, with the intent of wanting to gain your leverage back over your attention. You just have to trigger the field of consciousness with your intent. The way that you trigger the field of consciousness with your intent is by unattaching yourself. By the consequences of your intent, the field automatically pulls you away from all of those things that you gave your attention to, and you start to decompress that energy out of the solar plexus, and then you start to power up to be able to become effective in things in your life. The reason you can't become effective with the things that's in your life is because you have given your attention to things outside of yourself in the form of love as an attachment. So the way you undo that is by setting the intent to separate yourself from people and things outside of yourself that you have given your attention to, and automatically, based on the consequences of that choice, it triggers the energy field. And then the energy field magnetically pulls you and starts to pull up bulks and bulks and bulks and bulks and bulks and bulks and bulks of energy that has been stored in the unconscious mind and stored in the solar plexus. It starts to pull that out with a massive amount of power, and you decompress those things. This can last a week, a month, 11 years, 5 years, 7 years. It really does depend. You won't know until you set the intent to unattach yourself from things that you have given your attention to. The second that you block somebody on text, the second that you block somebody from calling you, the second you just go on a trip and don't tell anybody and turn your phone off, that's setting an intent. And that intent is going to trigger the field of consciousness, and that intent is going to increase the power within your meridian body. It's going to start the process of pulling up all that energy that you have to decompress out or channel out. You have to decompress all that energy, and once that happens, then you will have your leverage back, and then you'll be mindful of what you're giving your attention to, and then you're going to stop giving it your attention because it's not actually applying value towards your life. It's actually taking it away from your life. It's up to you to be brave enough to realize that. So every time you tell someone that you love them, you're telling the universe that you're okay with picking up their negative habits and storing it as your own. And the second that you break up with that person, say for instance, if you was with that person for 6 months, when you guys break up, that 6 months is going to be the time that it's going to take for you to undo the 6 months that you gave your attention to that person. That is the law of karma. What goes around comes around. The intent was set with the intent of I'm separate from this person. That's why it takes so long to undo negative karma, because of the belief that I'm separate from the world. If you just stop giving the world your attention and people your attention, you'll undo your negative karma and you can become lovingness towards all of the world without being attached to it. That's literally my life every single day. I show people love. I'm present for people when I'm around them, but in no way, shape, or form do I need them for anything. When you need things and people outside of yourself, you're telling the universe that you don't love yourself. And every time and every intent and every choice that you make with the intent of needing someone outside of yourself, you're accumulating negative karma you're gonna have to undo. Karma takes no days off, people. So in order to break out of that negative disease mentality of people pleasing, you have to be willing to unattach yourself from what you perceive you needed as a form of love. You are complete within yourself.